Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for quarter 4 of 2022. We're going to jump right in here and we are going to see what is going on in your general energies in this first row. Damn it, Leo. Every single time I do a reading for you, this card here, by the book, I feel like it's saying don't do things by the book. We're going to talk about that. Next, we are going to look at what is going on behind the scenes. This is going to be kind of like the unexpected, but really kind of what you could be working on behind the scenes or whatever. In your next row, we're going to look at what is coming to light and anything that you need to pay attention to in this row here. And then in your last row, we are going to look at the good stuff that could be coming in for you in this last quarter, which this whole entire reading looks really good. Actually, probably one of the more positive readings that I've done. They haven't really been negative. I would just call them dull, is what I would say. Just like, there's like stuff people are working on, but just kind of like a dull energy. Yours is much more exciting. I feel like there's maybe more socializing and maybe just like a little bit more fun than everybody else, which is nice. Also, we're going to pull 5 main themes at the end of the reading, and we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. You have this by the book card. I feel like this is the one thing that has been holding you back for a very long time. Even your next card says rebel on it, but I feel like you need to be a rebel, if I can speak today. I feel like you need to rebel. I feel you need to do things that maybe go against the grain. I like, maybe you just need to realize that your like uniqueness and your unique ideas and the things that make you unique are the things that are going to make you successful at this time. And I feel if you're kind of like just falling in line, if you're just following the leader or following a person or someone you're comparing yourself to in life, then maybe things will work, but not as good as they could, right? And so if you really haven't ever had the success you desire, I mean, this reading is very clear to me. It's just saying, if you haven't ever really truly had the level of success you desire, it's because you need to kind of like go your own way. And that's what this reading is encouraging you to do. You have the 7 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. So 2 7s is internal fears don't exist. The 7 of Pentacles is like a change in direction. I feel like you always get this card, Leo, especially for those of you in work or business or career, or even if you're retired, you could be like working on projects. This just says that maybe your energy is better used somewhere else. Look at this top row. 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, King of Cups, your heart, and the 10 of Cups. Your heart right here. Your heart right here with the Ace of Cups. The 7 of Pentacles to me is talking about a change in direction. I'm not saying you have to change your business or change your career, but there is a change that could be happening in one of those areas of your life. You have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a sacrifice, but it's also abundance. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I feel for some of you, there's some sort of change going on here. 7 of Wands is making a decision. Sometimes I look at the 7 of Wands, it's a card of conviction. It's a card of knowing that you know that something is meant to be successful in your life. And sometimes, not always, but sometimes I kind of feel like the 7 of Wands can say like, hey, there's like a new opportunity that once you make up your mind and you make a commitment to something that you're not going to accept less in your life, that's when the universe sometimes, I believe, moves out of our way and allows us to be successful. You have the 2 of Cups. There's definitely kind of like love going on here. You have this flirtation card, so it could be a very flirtatious connection that you're dealing with right now. I don't know, it feels good to me. It's not like a major focus here. I feel like it's something that you have. If you don't already have it, it could be coming in for you. Maybe it's not as serious as you want it to be. We haven't gotten there yet, so we'll look once we get there. But I don't know, it feels good to me, lighthearted, playful, fun, like I said. So it could be something that is very rejuvenating, that makes you feel kind of almost younger. With the 7 of Pentacles, you have the 5 of Wands. Fearing conflict, like if I make these new decisions, if I change something up in my business, everything is going to come collapsing down. And probably not the truth, right? So as someone who currently has multiple businesses, I can tell you, and who had these fears, right, in the beginning days, and even when I had a failure, right, it's like I never truly had like a total collapse, even on my ideas that didn't work out, right? But I've been there where it's like I've had ideas where I'm like, oh, if I do this and I'm wrong, there's going to be a total collapse. But frequently, that's not what happens. It's like, yeah, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it costs like a couple days of work, but is it ever really that dramatic? I would say no. I feel like this 5 of Wands is saying, take a more realistic view of some of the things that you want to do. I also feel there's something about balance here as well. Let's see, because the Ace of Swords is in perfect balance, and here you go with the Seven of Wands. See, I feel like this is the fear of repeating a mistake. Maybe you did make a mistake in work or business or in your finances in the past, and I feel like you're fearing that you're going to repeat a mistake, but I don't think so, is what I would say here. With the Two of Cups, you have the Two of Wands. For some of you, there could be love coming in for you. Where if you don't already have it, for some of you, I feel like you already have it, is what I would say. For those of you that don't have love, that want it, I feel that it could be someone from a distance or someone who just feels out of reach is what I'm getting here. I don't think that's true. I would go for it, is what I would say here. I feel like it could be with a water sign. You have the King of Cups here, but take it how it resonates. Could also be a Scorpio because you have Death card here. But I feel you could come from two totally different worlds. The Two of Cups, they're meant to look very different. So you could be two totally different people, but I don't know. Sometimes that works really well. For others, that Two of Wands is telling me that it's really time for you to progress. Two of Wands is kind of like, okay, you've learned everything you need to learn at your current level. Right here, this wand behind him stands on his own. And now he's reaching forward to this new wand, and he's got the whole world in his hands. So in work and business, if you haven't made any big moves or if you haven't grown in a while, I feel like growth is where it's at clearly for you here. Next, you have this Rebel card. It's funny because she's like upside down, so maybe you need to gain a new perspective on work or what it is that you're doing. Again, this is the area of what's happening behind the scenes, and I do feel this is something that you're kind of working on. I feel like you are a little bit of a rebel at this time, but I feel like anything you can do to rebel as well, go against the grain, or maybe try things from a new perspective, like in work or business or career especially, because that seems to be the focus here, then that's what I would be doing. Now, this could be in love as well. Like I said, you could be attracting someone who just lives an unconventional life. I definitely get that feeling here. Probably someone who might be have their own things going on, like entrepreneurial, or maybe they have a job where they're more independent. Strikes me as that type of person. Definitely could be a rebel. You have the Ace of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, and the Death card here. The Ace of Swords is the truth, and I feel it's talking about your inner truth, but it's also a card of sacrifice. There's a palm frond here, and there's an olive branch over here. The palm fronds in the tarot can represent a sacrifice. The olive branch represents like an offer of peace, of course, but it can also just represent abundance, which is kind of what I feel for you, is that there's like abundance coming in for you. I really feel you're like reclaiming this crown. I am pretty sure that I titled one of your more recent readings Reclaiming the Crown or something like that, didn't I? So I feel like you're kind of reclaiming your crown here with the Ace of Swords. But I also feel I feel abundance with that olive branch, but it's going to come through being a survivor. Like I feel if you've been working towards something for a very, very long period of time and you just haven't been getting the results you desire, this to me says you're not giving up and you're starting to become a better problem solver. The Ace of Swords is above the mountains, and it kind of represents the fact that we will always experience problems or challenges in life, but we get better and better and better at dealing with those problems if we learn, right? There are plenty of people who just keep making the same mistake over and over and over again, of course, but if we learn, then the sword rises above the mountains and we'll always easily be able to overcome problems. People always tell me, they're like, I just want my life to be easier. I'm like, no, you don't. Because it's like, guess what? Most successful people that are super successful, guess what? They have really big problems. So as far as I'm concerned, we should want to get better. We should want to get smarter and just learn how to deal with our problems better. Because if you want to be successful, again, successful people have big problems. They just deal with them in a better way, right? So that's what I'll say there. You have the Four of Pentacles. For some of you, I feel this like moving energy. It's funny, even on the bottom of your clarification deck, you have the Three of Wands here. I feel like some of you, it's like you're being pushed towards something here. I almost feel like you're moving. Maybe you don't want to move. I feel like I've said this to you before. Or maybe you feel like your hand is being forced here and you're kind of like having to move. I don't know. It's popping into my head. I feel it'll be good for you if you do make the move, though, if that helps. You have the Death card, definitely a transformation or a change. You can see that the king is dead. underneath the Death Rider, and it can just represent a change. It kind of says that even kings die, that even kings aren't immune to death. So I feel for some of you, you could be seeing an establishment leaving your life. I've talked about this like ad nauseum, Leo, that I think in between now and like 2033 or something, probably around there, we'll probably see a lot of kings die. Literally, the queen just died, right? But we could also just see a lot of establishments going away. The establishments are just things that have been around for a long time. Could be like your favorite restaurant, sorry to say it. Could be anything. But again, in its place will come new things that are better. So hopefully. So, there you go. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Three of Wands. That's why I don't take pop-outs, but there you go. Like I said, Three of Wands definitely could be. I see this like expanding into the world. I feel like some of you don't realize how beneficial a move could be. Like if you feel like you're being forced to move in some way, I don't know, this might only be for like one or two of you. I feel like the move is going to be so much better than you think and going to like open up so many opportunities. I almost get this feeling, if it's not a move, some of you might be releasing something that you kind of are holding on to that you don't want to let go of. But again, I feel like doing it is making space for something much better. Here you go. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Ace of Pentacles. This is what you're making space for. The Ace of Pentacles. Something that grows. Something that creates more abundance in your life. With the Death card, you have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like the bridge between the heavens and the earth, or the universe and the earth. So I feel for a lot of you that you could be very spiritually connected. That's really all I'm getting here. That's not normally how I read the Hierophant, but again, I read intuitively, and that's what I get for you. So there you go. Next, in the area of what is this? What's coming to light, what you need to pay attention to. You have this acquisition card, and you also have this flirtation card as well. I feel like you're in a very flirtatious connection. If you're not already in it, I feel like you will be in it in the near future. And I feel like the acquisition card is saying like you feel really good in this connection. So again, if you're meeting a person, really, really positive, could be a water sign. If you're I'm kind of getting power couple vibes. Like these two look super fancy, so you might like look super fancy together. I also feel these two people over here, they look very different. You see how they're dressed differently, just like on the Two of Cups. I do feel for a lot of you that if you're attracting love, it's you two kind of come from two different worlds. Like I was saying on that Two of Cups, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, in the 2022 readings, I'm pretty sure almost every single sign had the Two of Cups, and I like towards the end of the readings, I was starting to feel weird. I was like, okay, this is saying to me that pretty much everyone could be attracting a totally different type of person into their life. So, I definitely feel like that is possible for you here, is what I would say. The flirtation card, I'm getting something here as well. I'm trying to like kind of figure out what this message is, but I kind of feel like you need to, like, I wouldn't play games here, Leo. I'm totally against playing games. I think that's a problem with modern day relationships in the first place, is like everybody's trying to play some sort of game. But I do feel there's a need for you to like let this person do things for you. Like if you are always putting a lot of energy in, I'm not saying you shouldn't put energy in, but like if they want to do something for you, I feel like that just like those types of things will help build attraction more and like build the romance more. And I feel like there's something there. Like if you're over giving and things like that, I feel like it's just gonna, hurt the connection. So I would say like allow the person to do things for you if they want to do things, if they want to give you a gift, or if they want to do something for you. Maybe you don't like gifts. Well, I would just let them give you the gift because it's going to make them feel good. It's not about you. It's about them, right? So that, I don't know. It's popping into my head. With the you have the King of Cups, the Four of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. I would definitely open up here. I feel overall pretty positive. That Nine of Wands can be like the wounded warrior, a little standoffish. And again, maybe you're like, why does this person want to give me things? Well, maybe they're just a good person, or maybe they just, I don't know, maybe it just makes them feel good. So, I feel like paying attention to those things and being open to them, if this is love coming in for you, which it looks like it is to me. I mean, you have that Chalice card, the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Cups at the end. You have 3 aces in this reading. This is amazing. But what I would say here is like, allow it. The King of Cups, interestingly enough, is also my card of the home. There's something going on with the home here. It feels like a move to me for some of you, or some sort of change in the home. So, I don't know. I feel like it'll be good no matter what. The King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, you have the King of Cups here, obviously, but the King of Cups and Queen of Cups have been coming up for everyone. And there's something about, I feel like we all need to kind of keep an eye on our emotions at this time and make sure that we're not overreacting to things. You have the Four of Cups. I do feel like you've experienced a lot of disappointments in love in the past, and that could be the thing that is kind of like holding you back at this time. But again, I feel like this is a good connection if this is love coming in for you. For others, I just feel more mixing. I feel like you always get the Four of Cups, and I feel like it's because you are manifesting things that you desire in your life. But I feel like something needs to be like mixed together here. It's funny because I was watching something the other day about I don't remember what it was about, if I'm being honest with you, but it was about the blue ocean strategy, which is like, basically starting a business in an untapped market, right? And in the blue ocean strategy, they were talking about Cirque du Soleil, about how it's like circuses, nobody really cares, but it's like with like crazy things going on, okay, much more interesting. Like Cirque du Soleil is like a much more interesting circus, right? So they kind of created their own blue ocean by mixing two things together. The Four of Cups is like trying to bake a cake, right? Or trying to manifest a cake. Maybe you're trying to manifest a cake. Each one of those cups has the flour, sugar, eggs, everything else in it, but you have to mix them together. I always get this message for you that something needs to be mixed together in your life, or, two things need to come together so that you can kind of create your own blue ocean. And that's what I'd be looking into here, especially in business, but this could be in any area of your life. You have the Nine of Wands as well. Nine of Wands is a card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. So again, more experimentation vibes. I would open up here in love a little bit, like I said, but I feel it's kind of weird because I get a much more receiving energy here going on, where maybe you need to receive more, maybe you give too much in connections. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with giving, but it's like if you're over giving or if you're not accepting, it's like you're not creating that equal exchange of energy. Something needs to happen here with that, but overall positive. With the King of Cups, you have the Six of Swords, moving on to calmer shores, definitely improvements. If this is love coming in for you, I feel overall this is a major improvement. I feel like this person, I almost feel like this is you. It's like, you have this person in the back of the boat. I kind of feel like this is the person that could be coming in for you. It doesn't matter what gender you're attracted to either. I feel like you could be attracting a person who's like a guide, who guides people in some way in their life. Could be attracting someone who's like a coach or a mentor or something along those lines. And I feel like this is you. You could have a child. You can see she has her child here in the boat, but for some of you, I feel like it's just kind of you and I also feel something about, I kind of said this at the beginning of the reading. I feel it's a childish connection in a good way. I feel it needs more playfulness and all this other stuff, but I kind of feel like you could also be attracting a person who, wants to steer the boat, right? A captain of your ship, whatever the hell you want to call it, Leo. With the Four Cups, you have the Judgment card. I feel like you are waking up to the fact that you need to like mix the things together to bake the cake. If you were to just put flour, sugar, and eggs into an oven, it would come out tasting terrible. But when you like mix them together and you put them in a pan and all that other good stuff, then you get a cake, right? And that's what I feel like you're waking up to here. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Two of Cups again. Yeah, definitely could be love coming in for you. Again, I would open up to this. This person's different, maybe that's why you are getting the Nine of Wands is, because they are different and you're like, okay, like what the hell's going on here? Why is this person different? So I do feel like this person is very different, but I feel like you need to be open to it here. And again, I feel like you feel very connected. I feel if you're like looking for a clue, like, is this the right person? What I would say is that Two of Cups has a major focus on communication. So there would be very good communication. I feel like this person is very clear in their communication, maybe with their desires or, what they expect or their expectations. And maybe they're just upfront with those things. So, there you go. Next in the area of the good stuff, you have this rejuvenation and fulfillment card. I kind of feel like saying this is what the universe wants for you. Those are the words that are popping into my head. I feel like the universe wants you to take time to rejuvenate, to do things that fulfill you, to do things that bring you happiness and joy and, all that other good stuff. So I really feel that this is what the universe wants for you. You have the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Four of Swords. You could be attracting a person who you will have a family with, obviously, if you're looking for love. If you're not looking for love, and even if you are, I feel that a lot of you are just working towards your happily ever after in general. It's funny, I just said to Aries that, to me, happiness is, a state to be achieved. It's something that we have to work towards. It's something that is a result of achievement as well as happiness, right? So I kind of feel like you're starting to understand that. It's like you're understanding like what types of work, what types of relationships, what types of experiences create more happiness in your life. And when we understand that, then we can work towards those things and create more happiness, right? So I feel that's what's going on here with the Ten of Cups. It's not necessarily so much about a relationship, although I feel like that's part of it. I feel like it's about your happiness. You have the Ace of Cups, your emotions overflowing, being very happy. You can see that the cup is kind of right above the water that it's overflowing into. So it can just reach down and fill itself back up. It's almost like you're figuring out how to fulfill yourself with the Ace of Cups. And you have the Four Swords again. I mean, this makes sense with the word rejuvenation on that card. It's a card of resting, relaxing, rejuvenating. Again, kind of like a dull end of the year. I don't think it's going to be bad, and I think there's plenty of accomplishments and good things that could be happening for people, but, definitely take time to rest, relax, recover, do all that other good stuff here, Leo. But let's see. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles, like planting seeds. Again, I feel, like I said in 2022, I mean, to me, justice is the answer. 2022, he has a balance here, just like the Justice card, and it kind of represents what he puts his energy into. He's putting energy, giving to one thing that gives to him. So make sure you're giving to situations that give to you. But again, there is something here about receiving, kind of like receiving energy. And I feel you need to allow people to give you things for whatever reason. I don't know. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Ten of Swords. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff, so it doesn't matter that you have the Ten of Swords. And as far as a good thing would be concerned, this to me would say you're moving on to something new. He's also making a symbol here with his hands that represents a blessing. So I do feel there could be blessings coming in for you. With the Four Swords, you have the Ace of Cups again. So basically 3 times in this row. Your emotions overflowing. Very happy. Amazing reading here, Leo. So we're going to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 main themes that you could be dealing with at this time. You have this marriage card. So some of you could be getting married clearly, or you could be meeting the person that you will marry. What's this? I want to see what this next card is. You have this bag card. It says something important, such as new job or a raise. You could be getting married to a business. Again, marriage can just be a commitment to something. So some of you could be committing to your bag, making a bunch of money. If you are getting married or meeting a person, I feel like this person has money, or you have money together. Again, I get power couple vibes on this random fancy ass card right here. This acquisition card. Literally, acquisition is a word that we associate with money. So either you both have money or both making money, or you're just power coupling it up here. Next, you have this Broom card. You cannot make this stuff up. New home, new attitude. I told you that moving right here, somewhere in the middle, right here, that moving or something was going to lead to a major change. I feel it's much more positive than you realize. Again, maybe you feel like you're being forced out of where you live. Maybe they're building up too many big buildings around you, and you're like, no, I got to get out of here, right? I love living in the middle of nowhere, right? Totally understand. So maybe you're like, you know what? I love where I am, but they're building too many apartments. They're building too many whatever, right? And you're kind of saying, I got to get out of here. And maybe you don't want to, but at the same time, I feel like where you're going, much better. You have this wedge card that says someone trying to come between you and a friend or something that you want here. I don't really feel, I feel like this is what you're moving away from. I feel like you're moving away from these situations. Can we get more clarity on this? Maybe, maybe not. You have this vase that says secret admirer. If you have you clearly have a secret admirer if you're not already with this person. Number one, I'd be careful who you tell. Really, I feel like I should be telling your secret admirer this, which, obviously I can't. But if they're running their mouth about how they're interested in you, that could be causing some problems here in the connection. But overall, I don't think it's that big of a deal. You have this Ram card. It says a stubborn, aggressive person. I kind of feel like this is you here, Leo. I don't necessarily feel like it's a bad thing if you're feeling a little bit more aggressive towards your goals at this time. I would just embrace that energy is what I would say to you. I would say don't be too hard-headed, especially with that Rebel card. I feel like you need to kind of go against the grain and not get too stuck on ideas, so definitely something to pay attention to. You have this Forest card. It says muddled, unclear thinking. I do feel like there could be moments, if I was being super picky overall, where you're feeling a little bit unclear, but I don't know. Overall, it looks pretty clear to me, so wouldn't really worry about that. Now we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards here, Leo. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. So 1, 2, 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. For question number 1, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yes. So definitely yes. I feel like something's coming back around. So yes. For question number 2, yes. I feel like you attracted this, whatever you're asking about. You've been asking for this or hoping and praying for this. So yes. And for question number 3, I would say yes, happening quickly as well. So yes. This looks really good. I love this reading for you, Leo. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.